The lazier you are at these 6 things, the happier you will be in old age. The secret to a peaceful life that few people talk about. Have you ever wondered why some people grow happier as they age, while others seem burdened by stress and regret? It might sound surprising, but the secret to a joyful old age isn't doing more, it's actually doing less. That's right. Sometimes the key to peace and happiness is learning how to be a little lazier in the right ways. In this video, you'll discover 5 surprising things where putting in less effort can actually bring you more joy, peace, and fulfillment as you grow older. And that 5th one? It could be the most freeing truth you've ever heard. So stick around, because what you learn today might just change the way you live the rest of your life. Number 1, lazy to care about other people's thoughts. Happier. As you step into your middle years, something truly powerful begins to unfold. You start realizing that worrying about what others think of you has never really brought any peace or happiness. Have you ever spent years trying to please everyone, to avoid judgment, to gain approval? But then, with time, it hits you. Most people are too busy with their own lives to spend time analyzing yours. One of the greatest life lessons that comes with age is the freedom of not caring so much. Think about it. Have you ever seen an older person just living life on their own terms? They wear what's comfortable, speak their mind, and make decisions based on what brings them joy, not based on what others expect. That kind of freedom isn't just inspiring, it's deeply liberating. And the sooner you embrace that mindset, the more happiness you'll unlock for yourself. You see, the moment you stop living to meet someone else's expectations is the moment you start living for you. If you're always trying to please others, then who's really taking care of your own needs? Isn't it time to flip the script? There's a powerful truth in the quote, "The lazier you are at worrying about others' opinions, the happier you are." It may sound odd, but it holds deep wisdom. The less energy you spend stressing about how others see you, the more energy you have to focus on what truly matters. Your peace of mind, your health, your joy. So let me ask you, are you living the life you truly want? Or are you still trapped in the cycle of trying to live up to someone else's expectations? Are you dressing, speaking, and choosing your life path based on your inner voice? Or are you still waiting for outside validation? If the answer makes you pause, then maybe it's time to start caring less. Be a little lazy about the things that don't feed your soul. Let go of the unnecessary comparisons. Step away from the fear of judgment. Because the truth is, freedom doesn't come from being perfect in others' eyes. It comes from being real in your own. When you stop trying to win everyone's approval, you create space for authenticity. Your relationships become more meaningful, your choices become clearer, and each day becomes something to truly savor, not just survive. Remember, life isn't a competition for approval. It's a journey of self-discovery, joy, and peace. You don't have to wait until you're older to realize that. You can start now, with one simple step. Stop letting the opinions of others shape your life. If this message speaks to you and you're ready to live a more peaceful, authentic life, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share valuable life lessons, health tips, and inspiring stories to support your journey, especially for those of us over 35 who are ready to reclaim happiness on our own terms. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing community today. Number 2, lazy to force relationships, happier. As we grow older, there's a quiet wisdom that begins to take root in our hearts, the kind that whispers, you don't have to hold on to everyone to be happy. In our younger years, many of us believed that maintaining relationships, all of them, was a sign of strength, of love, or even maturity. We spent time, energy, and emotional capital trying to hold together friendships, family ties, or even romantic bonds that no longer brought us joy. We were afraid that letting go meant failure. But with age comes clarity, and one of the most powerful lessons you can learn is this: the lazier you are at forcing relationships, the happier you are. Let's pause and think about that for a moment. Have you ever tried so hard to keep someone in your life who was already drifting away? Have you bent over backwards, sacrificing your own peace, just to keep a relationship afloat, even when it constantly left you feeling unappreciated or emotionally exhausted? If you're nodding quietly to yourself right now, know that you're not alone. So many of us have been there. And the truth is, forcing relationships doesn't prove how much you care. It only drains the energy you could be using to nurture the connections that do matter. There's great liberation in understanding that not all people are meant to walk the entire journey with you. Some are only with you for a season, to teach, to share, to grow with you briefly, and then move on. And that's not a tragedy. That's life. As the great Maya Angelou once said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. When relationships require more forcing than flowing, more explanation than understanding, perhaps it's time to loosen your grip. Letting go doesn't mean closing your heart or building walls. It means opening space for peace, space for rest, space for the right people, the ones who value your presence without constant reminders, the ones who love you not despite your flaws, but because of your authenticity. It means allowing natural connections to grow instead of constantly watering a plant that's already withered. You may ask yourself, but what if they think I've changed? What if they say I gave up too easily? To that I say, let them. Because the person you're becoming is someone who prioritizes emotional health, someone who chooses mutual respect over forced closeness. As philosopher Seneca once wrote, associate with people who are likely to improve you, and you cannot improve or grow while dragging dead weight behind you. So here's something to truly consider. Are you holding on to people who no longer hold you? Are you clinging to the past version of a relationship instead of facing what it has become? When you release the pressure to keep everyone happy, you open yourself to a different kind of happiness. The quiet, steady kind that comes from surrounding yourself with people who bring calm, not chaos. It's not selfish to protect your peace, it's wise. And if there's one lesson worth embracing as you move through life, it's this: your energy is sacred. Spend it where it's honored. Let go where it's wasted. And above all, don't fear the empty spaces that letting go creates, because they often become the birthplace of something far more beautiful. If this message resonates with you and you're on a journey to live with more peace, more clarity, and more self-love, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share valuable life lessons, practical health tips, and empowering advice for those who are ready to live with wisdom, not worry. Join our growing community, because you deserve to feel heard, inspired, and supported every step of the way. Number 3, lazy to change others, happier. As we journey through life, especially into the more reflective stages of adulthood, one truth gradually reveals itself with stunning clarity. The lazier you are at trying to change others, the happier you are. You may have spent years, or even decades, believing it was your responsibility to guide, correct, or save the people you love. Maybe you tried to fix your partner's unhealthy habits, steer your children toward better decisions, or help your friends break out of patterns you believed were harming them. It often came from a place of love, didn't it? A deep desire to protect or improve someone's life. But over time, experience whispers what youth often drowns out. People only change when they truly want to, and not a moment before. Have you ever poured your heart into advice only to be ignored? Have you ever argued endlessly, hoping to make someone understand, only to be met with resistance or silence? If so, you're not alone. It's a struggle many of us face, trying to control outcomes, shape behavior, or steer people toward what we think is best for them. But here's something worth considering. Is that truly your burden to carry? Or are you exhausting your emotional energy on something that was never yours to fix in the first place? There's an old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The same is true with people. You can offer kindness, you can share your perspective, you can even model better ways of living, but the decision to change must come from within them. Pushing too hard, even with the best intentions, often results in resistance or resentment. As Carl Jung wisely observed, Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. In other words, sometimes the effort we spend trying to fix others is a reflection of something we're still working on inside ourselves. The moment you release the need to control how others live, you free yourself. You reclaim your peace. Instead of carrying the weight of other people's choices, you learn to stand in your own calm, knowing that their journey is their own, just as yours is. You'll find that relationships feel lighter, conversations become more respectful, and your own stress levels dramatically decrease. Because when you stop expecting others to change, you begin to accept them, or at least accept reality, and that brings you emotional freedom. Ask yourself, who in your life are you still trying to change? Is it working? And more importantly, what is it costing you in time, energy, and peace of mind? Imagine what it would feel like to let go of that urge, to simply meet people where they are, instead of where you wish they'd be. As Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Sometimes changing your perspective is far more powerful than trying to change another person. So the next time you catch yourself getting frustrated because someone isn't listening, changing, or growing in the way you hoped, pause. Breathe. Remember that your worth isn't defined by your ability to fix others. Instead, focus that care and compassion inward. Use it to cultivate your own joy, your own growth, and your own well-being. If this message speaks to something you've experienced or felt in your own life, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. We share meaningful life lessons, real talk, and practical wisdom, especially for those of us who have learned that peace of mind is worth far more than control. Join our community of thoughtful, kind-hearted souls, because you deserve to grow in a space that values truth, healing, and the kind of wisdom that only life can teach. Number 4, lazy to pursue people who don't appreciate you, happier. As we grow older, we begin to realize that peace of mind often comes not from doing more, but from letting go. Letting go of people who don't see our worth, who only show up when it's convenient for them, and who make us question our value. You see, the lazier you are at chasing after people who don't value you, the happier you are. That statement might sound strange at first, but the truth it holds is something many of us only come to understand with time and experience. Think back for a moment. Have you ever found yourself always being the one who called first, who initiated every meeting, who constantly made the effort to hold a relationship together? Did it leave you feeling fulfilled or just tired and disappointed? The reality is, if someone truly values you, you won't need to chase them. They will show up, not because you reminded them, but because they want to. People who care will reach out, check in, and make time for you. You won't have to beg for their attention or affection. And when you stop chasing those who make you feel invisible, something powerful happens. You make space for genuine relationships to grow. You reclaim your peace, your energy, and your dignity. You no longer invest in one-sided connections that only drain you. It's important to ask yourself, why do I feel the need to chase people who don't value me? What am I truly afraid of losing? Their presence or the idea of not being chosen? The answers might be difficult to face, but they hold the key to your emotional freedom. As the great Maya Angelou once said, never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option. Life is too short, and your time is too precious to be spent proving your worth to people who don't see it. Letting go of the habit of chasing isn't about becoming cold or distant. It's about recognizing your own value. It's about learning to receive love that is freely given, not forced. It's about allowing relationships to flow naturally, without manipulation or over-effort. You'll start to see that the people who truly belong in your life will stay without needing to be convinced. And here's something else to keep in mind. Not everyone is meant to walk with you through every chapter of life. Some people are simply passing characters in your story, and that's okay. When you release the need to be everything to everyone, you'll find you have more time, energy, and emotional space for the people who actually matter. So if you're still watching this and nodding in agreement, I want you to do something simple but meaningful. Stop chasing. Let those who want to be in your life meet you halfway. You don't need to overextend yourself just to keep someone from leaving. If they truly care, they won't need to be reminded to stay. If you're still with me right now, drop a "so bon" in the comments so I know you're walking this journey with me. And if you're ready to build a life filled with meaningful connections, wisdom, and peace, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share real-life lessons, practical health advice, and soulful inspiration for those of us over 35 who are choosing to live with purpose, self-respect, and joy. Number 5. Lazy to control everything. Happier. As we get older, many of us begin to realize something quite profound. The lazier you are at trying to control everything, the happier you are. It's a simple idea, but it carries a powerful truth that only life experience can teach. When we're younger, we often feel the need to control everything. Our careers, our relationships, our children's futures, even the way others perceive us. We think if we just try hard enough, plan carefully enough, or push persistently enough, we can shape the world exactly the way we want. But then life happens. Plans fall apart. People disappoint us. Circumstances shift without warning. And slowly we begin to understand. No matter how much effort we put in, some things will always be beyond our control. And that's okay. Have you ever noticed that the more you try to control everything, the more exhausted and frustrated you feel? Trying to manage every detail of life is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more you lose. And yet, when you loosen your grip, when you stop fighting to control every outcome, life begins to flow more naturally. You breathe easier, you sleep better, you laugh more. The truth is, control is an illusion. As the philosopher Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. That's not giving up. That's growing wiser. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive or careless. It means knowing what's worth your energy and what's not. It means understanding the difference between what you can change, like your attitude, your habits, your reactions, and what you can't, like the past, other people's behavior, or unexpected events. And once you stop trying to control what was never yours to control in the first place, you start to feel lighter. You begin to live more fully in the present moment instead of being trapped by anxiety over the future or regret about the past. Ask yourself this: how much of your daily stress comes from trying to control things that are simply out of your hands? Would your life feel more peaceful if you allowed some space for unpredictability, for trust, for faith, for acceptance? Some of the happiest older people I know aren't those with the most money or the best health. They're the ones who've learned to relax. They've stopped fighting with life and started flowing with it. They don't cling to perfection. They've made peace with imperfection, with uncertainty, and with the beauty of enough. So today, I invite you to loosen your grip, to give yourself permission to breathe, to trust, and to let go of what's weighing you down. You don't have to control every outcome to live a good life. In fact, the most peaceful moments often come when we surrender the illusion of control and simply live. Let life surprise you. Let people show up as they are. Let time unfold its story without your constant interference. If you're still with me now, I'd love to know. Drop a "so numb" in the comments so I know we're walking this path together. And if this message speaks to your heart and you're looking for more real-life wisdom, health advice, and soulful encouragement, especially for those of us over 35 who are ready to live more peacefully. Number 6, the more lazy you are to argue to be right, the more peaceful you will live. As we get older and wiser, there's a subtle but profound shift in how we approach life, especially when it comes to conflict. Maybe in your younger days, you felt the urge to explain yourself, to correct others when they were wrong, or to prove a point in every debate. You may have thought that being right meant being respected, or that every misunderstanding needed to be cleared up. But life has a gentle way of showing us what truly matters. And one day you realize a powerful truth. The lazier you are at arguing to prove you're right, the happier and more peaceful you become. Let's be honest. How many times have you walked away from an argument feeling fulfilled? Most of the time, These clashes don't lead to understanding or harmony. They just drain our energy, stir up unnecessary stress, and leave us frustrated. You might win the argument, but lose your peace in the process. That's why one of the most important life lessons is this. Being right is often overrated, but peace of mind is always priceless. As the great philosopher Rumi once said, "Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder." And that rings especially true as we age. You begin to notice that not every disagreement needs your response, not every opinion needs to be corrected, and not every invitation to debate deserves your presence. In fact, sometimes the wisest choice you can make is simply to smile, nod, and let it go. Why? Because many people aren't truly looking for truth. They're looking for validation of their own beliefs. The more you try to set the record straight, the more resistance you'll face. You might feel the urge to defend your values, your perspective, or your life choices, especially when you know you're right. But here's the real question. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be free? That's a choice only you can make. And choosing peace doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to know your energy is better spent elsewhere. Think back to the last time you got into a heated debate. Did it bring you closer to the person? Did it resolve the issue? Or did it just leave both sides feeling misunderstood? So many older, wiser people often say, "You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to." That simple idea can change your life because it invites you to step away from unnecessary conflict and into a space of calm acceptance. Choosing peace means protecting your inner world from the chaos of needing to win. It means recognizing when silence is more powerful than speaking, when understanding is more valuable than being understood. And most importantly, it means valuing your well-being above the temporary satisfaction of being right. Because when you stop fighting to prove your worth or your truth, you create space for joy, for clarity, and for true emotional freedom. So the next time someone says something you disagree with, whether it's about politics, parenting, or personal beliefs, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Because 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And in that quiet moment of self-restraint, you grow. If you've ever chosen peace over proving a point and felt the freedom it brings, let me know by commenting so below. And if you want more life lessons, health tips, and soulful reflections designed especially for people over 35 who are seeking wisdom, balance, and meaning, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You're not alone on this journey, and we're here to walk with you, one peaceful step at a time. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. The lazier you are at these 6 things, the happier you will be in old age. The secret to a peaceful life that few people talk about.